Namaste, and welcome to the third in the series of Introduction to Iyengar Yoga with me, Sarah Agelasto. We'll start today in Sukhasana, or easy pose. So sit on two blankets so that your knees are in line with your hips or slightly lower, and cross the shins in the center line. Sit well. Sit evenly on your sit bones. Feel the sides of the body lift up as you roll the shoulders back and away from the ears and lift the center of the chest. The back of the neck is long, the throat is soft, the cheeks and jaw are soft, and the eyes are soft. You can gently close your eyes for a moment, just taking a moment to settle into this space and time and becoming more aware of your physical body. Noticing how it feels in this shape today. And then becoming aware of your mental body, your state of mind. Again, noticing where you are from a mental, emotional perspective this morning, today. And then become aware of your breath body. Noticing the breath as it enters in through your nose. Just noticing the quality of the breath, the temperature of the breath, and where it moves in the body. And we'll stay attuned to our connection with our body, mind, and breath throughout the practice today. When you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. And we'll come up to a standing position. So first, just stretch your legs out in front of you, opening up the backs of the knees, reaching through the feet, pressing the knees down, pressing the thighs down, and using your hands behind you to help lift your chest up in Dandasana, staff pose. And then make your way up to a standing position. Again, in this class today, we'll need a couple of props. We'll need 2 blankets, or the blankets that you're sitting on, 2 blocks if you have them, and a strap. We'll also be using a wall today, so be sure that you've got a space on the wall that's not intruded with other things that are on it, pictures and such, just a clear space of wall that you can use today. And we'll start in Tadasana, mountain pose. The feet are together, big toes touching, heels can be slightly apart. And remember, you can continue to have the feet apart as we've practiced previously if you are pregnant, menstruating, or have knee pain, back pain. Otherwise, take your feet together. Lift and spread your toes, create a stable base of the feet. Lift your kneecaps up and lift your thighs up. Extend the tops of the buttocks down towards the floor, lengthening the lower back. Lift the side body, lift the center of the chest, and roll the shoulders back and away from the ears as you stretch through the fingertips. So the previous couple of classes, we've focused on the legs, primarily the feet, the knees, the thighs. And today we'll move up the body to the arms. So we'll concentrate on the arms today. And you'll hear me say several times to externally rotate the arms. So I'll demonstrate what that means in a standing position, and we'll reiterate it as we move through the other poses that we'll practice today. So, to externally rotate your arms, turn the upper arms out, as well as the lower arms and the palms. Continue to stretch through the fingertips and stay in Tadasana. And then reach the arms out by the sides, up to the shoulders, and continue to externally rotate the arms. So the triceps are moving up and the biceps are moving down. And then we'll stretch the arms further and take them overhead. So they're still externally rotated, but it's not as easy to see in this position. But you can feel that your triceps are moving in towards your face and your biceps are moving away from the face. So triceps in, biceps out, and then we'll lower the arms back down by our sides. We'll maintain the external rotation of the upper arms as we turn our palms back towards our body. So you're still externally rotating the arms even though the lower arms and palms are facing back towards the body. So normally when we practice Urdhva Hastasana, or upward hands pose, we'll take the arms forward. The triceps are moving in, the biceps are moving out, the arms are externally rotated, the upper arms. And then inhale, take the arms overhead. Still maintain that external rotation of the arms as you reach through the fingertips. Inhale and exhale, lower your arms back by your sides. So we'll continue to use that description as we move through the poses today. We'll continue to use that terminology as we move through the poses today. The next pose we'll practice is a new pose. It's a balancing pose called Vrikshasana, or tree pose. In this pose, you'll stand on one leg and raise the arms overhead. So we'll start standing on the right leg. So take your weight towards your right leg or onto your right leg. You're going to take your weight off of your left leg so that the entire weight of the body is on your right leg. And then pick up the left leg and bend the knee and take the knee out to the side as you place the sole of the foot onto your upper thigh and extend the knee out towards the left. Now some of us aren't able to get the foot up all the way into the top of the thigh, so if that's the case, you can place your foot on your calf or even on the floor, so you can balance your toes on the floor and rest your heel against the standing leg. Still externally rotating the thigh as you extend from the inner groin down to the inner knee. So whichever height you choose, either on the floor to maintain your balance, or on your calf, or above the knee in the top of the thigh. The entire sole of the foot is on the leg, toes point down. The pelvis is still forward as you extend from the inner groin to the inner knee and take the knee out to the side. And then, maintaining your gaze on something in front of you that's not moving, we'll take the arms forward, again externally rotating the arms, and then inhale and draw the arms overhead, reaching for the ceiling. So the standing leg reaches down and the arms reach up. Vrikshasana tree pose. And then inhale, exhale, lower the arms and lower the left leg. Back to Tadasana. So stand in Tadasana for a moment. Stretch the toes forward. Maintain the balance on the inner and outer edges of the feet. Draw up on the thighs. Lift the chest and reach the arms. And then we'll take our weight onto our left leg. So the entire weight of the body comes onto the left leg as you pick up your right leg and place the foot again either down on the floor for balance, or you can take the foot a little higher on the calf, or maybe eventually all the way up into the top of the thigh. So the foot presses against the left thigh. There's an extension from the inner groin of the the right leg, from the inner groin to the inner knee. the sides of the waist lift, the chest lifts, and then on an inhale, maintaining all that, take the arms forward, externally rotate the upper arms, and inhale, take the arms overhead, reaching through the fingertips. So the standing leg becomes the base of the tree, the sides of the body become the trunk, and the arms become the limbs. And then on an inhale, exhale, lower the arms, and then release the right leg down to Tadasana. The next pose we'll practice is called Utthita Trikonasana. We've practiced this a couple of times, extended triangle pose. So we'll start in Tadasana. We'll inhale the fingertips up and then step or hop the arms and legs wide apart. So again, remembering that you're not jumping. If you're pregnant, you're menstruating, you have knee pain or back pain, you'll just step back and forth into Utthita Hasta Padasana. Then we'll turn the right leg and foot out. We'll turn the back foot in slightly. We'll maintain the Tadasana in the legs, so the inner and outer edges of the feet press, the kneecaps lift, the chest lifts. And then in this class today, we'll externally rotate the arms by turning the upper arms out as well as the lower arms and palms, just to really emphasize that external rotation of the arms. And then inhale and exhale, reach out over your right leg, and then place the right hand down onto your block, whatever height you need. And maintaining that external rotation of the arms, reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. So the feet press, the kneecaps lift up, the chest reaches towards the crown of the head, and the arms stretch strongly, maintaining that external rotation out from the shoulders. And then press the feet again. Inhale, come back up. Turn the feet parallel. And then turn the left leg and foot out, the back foot in slightly. And again, we'll emphasize the external rotation by turning the entire arm up, externally rotating the upper arm as well as the lower arm, taking the palms up. And then inhale and exhale, reach out over your left leg and place the left hand down onto your block. And keeping that external rotation of the arms, reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Again, the feet press, the kneecaps lift, the chest reaches towards the crown of the head as you reach the arms from the shoulders. And then press the feet and inhale, come back up to standing. Turn the feet parallel and step or hop the arms and legs back to Tadasana. And stand for a moment in Tadasana. Again, stretch the toes forward. Maintain the balance on the inner and outer edges of the feet. Lift the thighs up. Lift the chest. Reach the arms. And we'll practice Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2 position. So we'll inhale the fingertips up, step or hop, arms and legs wide apart. And then we'll turn the right leg and foot out. The back foot turns in slightly, remembering to maintain the heel of the front foot in line with the arch of the back foot. And then we'll externally rotate our arms, turning the palms up, just to emphasize that external rotation. And then keeping the weight in the outer edge of the back foot, bend the right knee so that the knee comes over the ankle. The torso remains upright, the arms are externally rotated, the shoulders move down the back, and then maintaining that external rotation, turn the palms and forearms down towards the floor. Reaching from the shoulders and gazing out over your right fingertips. And then straighten the right leg, turn the feet parallel, Emphasize the external rotation of the arms as you turn the palms up. And then we'll turn the left leg and foot out, the back foot in slightly, maintaining a strong pressure of the heel down into the sticky mat. Inhale and exhale, bend the left knee and take the knee over the ankle. The shoulders move down the back, and then gaze out over your left fingertips and turn the palms back towards the classic position, but still maintaining that external rotation of the upper arms as much as possible. The knee bends deeply so that the knee is over the ankle. The back leg is stretched straight. And then straighten the left leg, turn the feet parallel, and step or hop back to Tadasana. Always between the poses, standing steady in Tadasana, seeing that you're aligned, the feet are together, the thighs draw up, the lower back lengthens down as the chest lifts and the arms reach. We'll practice another pose which we've practiced called Utthita Parsvakonasana, or extended side angle pose. And today we'll do the classic version of the pose. So start in Tadasana. Inhale the fingertips up, step or hop, arms and legs wide. Turn the right leg and foot out. Turn the back foot in slightly. Try to externally rotate the upper arms without turning the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. And then again, maintaining the outer edge of the back foot on the floor firmly. From there, keeping the legs straight, bend the right knee so it comes to 90 degrees. And then extend out over the right leg, placing the hand now on the outside of the foot. So previously we placed it on the inside of the foot. Now you can place it on the outside of the foot. And remember, you can take the block to whatever height you need, even coming so that your forearm is on your thigh. Try to come down onto your block and maintain that external rotation of the arms, remembering that the legs are steady here. The arms are stretching from the shoulders, and then externally rotate the left arm and take the arm overhead by the ear. Long line of energy here from the outer edge of the left foot all the way through the left fingertips as you maintain a deep bend in the right leg. And then press the feet. Inhale, come back up. Turn the feet parallel. And then turn the left leg and foot out. The back foot turns in slightly. Inhale, maintaining the outer edge of the back foot on the floor. Inhale and exhale, bend the left knee so the knee comes over the ankle, deep bend in the knee. And then inhale and exhale, reach out over the left leg, placing your hand on the block on the pinky toe side of your foot. And then externally rotating the arm, the shoulders move down the back as you reach the right arm overhead by the ear, creating a long line of energy from the outer edge of the right foot all the way through the right fingertips. And then pressing the feet. Inhale, come back up. We'll turn the feet back to Utthita Hasta Padasana, and then step or hop the arms and legs back to Tadasana. We'll move to the wall now, so we'll change the orientation of our sticky mat. We'll just take the sticky mat, the short end of the sticky mat against the wall. So we'll move the props out of the way. And we'll turn our sticky mat so that the short end of the sticky mat is against the wall. And then we'll stand in Tadasana with the heels against the wall. So we'll start in Tadasana. We'll have the heels against the wall, the hips and buttocks, the shoulders, and the back of the head. We'll reach the arms down from the shoulders, fingertips down towards the floor. So I love using the wall in poses. It's great for showing you where you are in space, as well as giving you a little more stability, which is helpful in as we move along through the poses. We're in Tadasana. The feet are together. The legs are together. The back body is on the wall. The outer shoulders are on the wall. And the back of the head is on the wall. From here, we'll practice Utkatasana. So we'll step, keeping the back body against the wall, we'll step 2 foot lengths away from the wall. So here's 1 foot length, and then 2 foot lengths away from the wall. And then separate your feet hip distance, keeping the back body on the wall, keeping the outer shoulders on the wall. We'll inhale and exhale, bend the knees, coming towards parallel to the floor. So again, the knees are over the ankles and the back body is on the wall. This is a very challenging pose, so having the support of the wall really helps you to be able to maintain this pose for extended periods of time. Press into the feet and straighten the legs and come out of the pose and pause here for a moment. And then we'll do the same pose again, but we'll take the arms overhead. So maintaining the pelvis on the wall, the outer shoulders on the wall, the back of the head on the wall. We'll inhale and exhale, bending the knees, taking the knees over the ankles, thighs towards parallel. And then either keeping the arms down by the sides if this is already challenging enough, or you can draw the arms forward, externally rotating the arms as you take the arms overhead. Moving the biceps towards the wall as you reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Now, if your arms aren't able to straighten in this position, you can take your arms just a little bit wider. So if the elbows are bent, just take the arms wider, or if there's some impingement in the shoulders, take the arms a little bit wider to maintain the pose. Otherwise, reach the arms from the shoulders and then straighten the legs and lower the arms. Utkatasana, or fierce pose. And then we'll stand back up into Tadasana, and we'll do a couple more standing poses. The first one we practiced last week. It's called Parsvottanasana, or intense stretch to the side. So in order to get into this pose, there's a couple of ways to get into this pose. But we'll start with the hands on the waist, and we'll step the legs wide apart so that the back foot, the right foot, is on the wall. And then we'll turn the left leg and foot out, and the back foot turns in 60 degrees, as you may remember from the last class. And the heel presses firmly into the wall, so the wall provides stability for you to press your heel into, so you can firmly straighten the leg and begin to rotate that outer right hip forward. The inner right foot presses in, inner left foot, the inner left foot presses into the floor as you take the left hip back towards the wall. The shoulders are back and the chest is lifted. And then we'll turn back to center and step the legs back together. The other way you can step into this pose, for the purposes of the recording angle, we'll step the left leg back so that the back heel is on the wall. The foot is already on a big turn of the back foot, about 60 degrees. And then the right leg steps forward. So the left heel is on the wall and the right leg is forward. So the outer left heel presses into the wall. The outer left heel presses into the wall to give you stability as you rotate the left hip forward, and the inner right foot presses into the wall to take that right hip back. The shoulders are back, the chest is lifted, and the legs are firm. And then you can step the left leg forward and the right leg back. We'll practice a new pose that starts out in a similar way as Parsvottanasana. It's called Virabhadrasana 1, or Warrior 1 pose. So from this side, we'll take the right leg to the wall, and we'll step the left leg out, and we'll turn the left leg forward, and we'll do a big turn on the back foot. Again, with a 60-degree angle of the back foot, the heel at the wall, and then the left leg forward. So you're doing the same thing by pressing the heel into the wall and rotating that right hip forward, and then pressing into the inner edge of the front foot and taking that left hip back. The shoulders are back and the chest is lifted, and you maintain the heel against the wall as you bend the left knee, coming towards over the ankle. So the knee comes over the ankle, the thigh comes towards parallel to the floor, and it's a deep bend of the knee as you extend that right leg back towards the wall. The shoulders are back and the chest is lifted, and then on an inhale, straighten the leg, turn the feet back to parallel, step the feet back together, and then on the other side, we'll take the left leg back, the heel towards the wall, and then we'll step the right leg forward. So the left heel presses against the wall and helps to draw that left hip forward as the right foot, inner foot, presses into the floor to take that right hip back. The shoulders back, the chest lifted, and then bend the right knee. I'm taking a little bit of a wider stance here as you press that left heel firmly into the wall. Back leg stretches straight, knee bends over the ankle, and the chest stays lifted. And then we'll straighten the leg, and we'll step the left leg forward and the right leg back. Let's try that one more time. So we'll take the right heel to the wall and step the left leg out. So starting like we do in most standing poses, and this is how we would do it in the middle of the room. We turn the back heel in, big turn out on the left leg. The legs start straight, just like in Parsvottanasana. You've got the steadiness of the wall to press that heel into. With the heel pressing into the wall, bend the left knee so that the knee comes over the ankle. Back leg stays stretched, front leg knee is bent, and the shoulders are back and the chest is lifted. From here, you can reach the arms forward, keeping the arms externally rotated, and then take the arms overhead into the classic position of the pose. Arms stretch from the shoulders up towards the ceiling. Once you maintain confidence in this pose, you can begin to take the head back and look up towards the ceiling. And then take the head back straight, straighten the left leg, and lower the arms. Turn the feet back to parallel and step the feet back together. And then one more time on the other side. We'll step the left leg back, heel to the wall, big step forward of the right leg. Square the hips towards the wall that you're facing. The outer left foot presses into the wall. Left leg is straight. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, and then bend deeply the right leg. So the knee comes over the ankle, and keeping that back heel on the wall, keeping a deep bend in the right leg, We'll take the arms forward, externally rotating the arms, and then inhale, take the arms overhead. Stretching through the arms, stretching through the fingertips. And once you've gained balance in the pose, you can begin to take the gaze up towards the ceiling. And then take the gaze forward, straighten the right leg, lower the arms, step the left foot forward, and the right leg back. Now we'll move down towards the floor. So if you've heard anything about yoga, you've heard the pose, downward facing dog, or Adho Mukha Svanasana. So let's come down onto our hands and knees. I'm going to take this sticky mat, make sure it's still connected with the wall. So we'll turn our hands out so that the thumb and forefinger will come to the wall. The roots of the palms and fingers will press down into the sticky mat. The arms are shoulder width, and then we'll come into Adho Mukha Virasana, or child's pose. So the toes are together, the knees are apart, and this gives us a good distance for measuring how far we should be away from the wall. So keeping the arms stretched straight, come down so that the hips come back, and then maintaining your hands at the wall, we'll come up onto all fours. With the knees wide, you don't want to move the knees front to back, but you can take the knees a little closer together so that they're under your hips, the toes point back. In this position, you're already encouraging your arms to externally rotate, so the upper arms externally rotate, which draws the shoulder blades into the back and the shoulders down the back and away from the wall. Maintaining that, we'll turn the toes under, keeping the thumb and forefinger pressing into the wall, the hands pressing down, and you'll begin to lift your hips, stretching the arms, and then you can stretch the heels down towards the floor so that the feet are hip distance. And then press your hands against the wall and take the chest further towards the legs as much as possible, moving the shoulder blades in the back, into the back, taking the chest towards the legs. And then bend the knees, come back to all fours, and we'll rest in Adho Mukha Virasana, so the knees again apart, and the hips back towards the heels. And we'll rest for a moment, but we'll maintain our connection with the fingers on the wall, maintaining our distance from the wall. So keeping the hands at the wall, the hands turned out. We'll come up onto all fours, take our knees underneath our hips, toes point back, roots of the fingers into the floor, into the sticky mat, thumb and forefinger against the wall. Already external rotation encouraged with the hands in this orientation. So externally rotating the arms, shoulder blades into the back, shoulders down the back. Turn the toes under. Inhale and exhale, lift the hips, and keeping the arms stretched straight, press the chest towards the legs as you extend the heels down towards the floor. The feet are hip distance and parallel. The hands press against the wall, the arms stretch straight, and the shoulder blades move into the back as you take the chest towards the legs. The heels stretch down as the thighs press back in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And then bend the knees, place the knees on the floor, and we'll take Adho Mukha Virasana one more time, relaxing the hips down towards the heels and the head down towards the floor. And then sit up. The next pose we'll practice is called Supta Padangustasana, which we've practiced a couple times before. But again, we'll use the wall to give us a little bit of stability and to show us where we are in space. So, have a strap And then come onto your back so that your feet are on the wall. They're going to be evenly pressed onto the wall. If your house has molding or some kind of instability or change in distance from the floor to the wall, you can always create a cleaner wall by putting two blocks together. So you can, if you have the molding on the floor or something on the floor that prohibits you from doing this pose, you can put two blocks together to create that straightness of the wall. We have a beautiful yoga wall here with and straight down, no molding. So we're going to place our feet on the wall, feet together, with the knees slightly bent, and then just lie back in Supta Tadasana. So Tadasana on the floor. And then with the feet together and the knees slightly bent, this is a subtle movement, but what we'll do is we'll straighten our knees, and with the sticky mat underneath us, it'll help to draw everything down the back towards the wall. So we're lengthening the back body down towards the wall. So press the feet and straighten the knees, taking everything down the back. Shoulder blades, buttocks, legs, thighs, and then maintaining the feet on the wall. We'll press as if we were pressing into the floor, so the inner and outer edges of the feet are on the wall. We'll keep the left foot on the wall as we bend the right knee and place the strap over the ball of the right foot. And we'll extend, as we've done before, maintaining that connection of the left foot on the wall. We'll extend the right leg up towards the ceiling, extending all the way from the inner groin to the inner knee, out through the inner edge of the foot. And then holding onto the strap with our two hands, we'll draw the arm bones into the shoulders, and you can maintain an external rotation of the arms here, creating a little more broadness and space across the chest. So reach through the leg, press the left foot into the wall and press that thigh down. Press the right foot into the strap and open up the back of the knee. And remember, if your knee is bent, you can just take it a little further away so that you can be sure to straighten your knee. And then we'll bend the knee and return the right leg to the floor, return the right foot to the wall. You might resituate yourself so that you can maintain that strong connection with your feet at the wall. So you can bend your knees again and then straighten them. Helps to create a broadness across the chest by drawing the shoulders down the back, taking the outer shoulders to the wall. And then keeping the right leg now on the wall. Bend the left knee and place the strap over the ball of the left foot. Holding onto the strap in either hand, maintain the connection of the right foot against the wall, and then begin to straighten the left leg by extending from the inner groin to the inner knee and out through the inner edge of the foot, inner heel. Holding onto the strap, draw the arm bones more into the shoulder sockets, moving the shoulder blades into the back, creating an external rotation of the arms, which helps to create broadness across the chest. Take a deep breath. Pressing the right leg into the wall, press that right thigh down, pressing the left ball of the foot into the strap, straighten the back of the left knee, and press that left thigh towards the wall. And then we'll bend the left knee and return the left leg to the wall, to Supta Tadasana, or Supine Tadasana. And then to come out, we'll bend our knees and roll over onto our right side. Pausing for a moment here. The next pose we'll practice is a variation of a pose we've already done called Urdhva Prasarita Padasana, or upward extended leg pose. So to do this pose, we'll roll up our sticky mat and move it out of the way. And we'll need a blanket. So we'll take one of the blankets we were sitting on, and this is how they're normally folded on a pile, and we'll just open it up one time so that it's big enough for our torso to lie down on. And we'll take that blanket to the wall. Now the hardest part about this pose is getting into it. You'll also need a strap. So you'll need to make a loop with your strap, and we'll use that as well. So come right up next to the wall with your hip at the wall, and then keeping your hip at the wall, lie down again on your side. So you want to keep the hip towards the wall. And then try to keep the blanket where it is as you roll the legs up to the wall. So the pelvis remains on the floor and the legs are stretched straight up the wall. If the knees are bent in this position, you're at a wall, and just on a blanket, so you can push yourself away a little bit so that the legs stretch straight. If you have more open hamstrings and lower back, you might be right up against the wall. If you're less flexible, you might be a little bit further away from the wall. And then the strap is going to go around our legs so that we don't have to think about keeping them together. So the strap will keep our legs together. And I like to put the belt buckle right in the middle so it's not on my person. Just something that you might notice while you're resting. Now, if your chin is up, you may also consider putting a blanket under your head and neck, just like you do in Shavasana. You may not need a support under the head, but it might feel more comfortable in this resting pose. And then we'll externally rotate our arms, just like we do in Shavasana, and take the palms up. If you have glasses on, you'll take those glasses off and rest them to the side. And then you can close your eyes. This is a great restorative version of the pose to practice with the wall, the support of the wall. I love to do this pose at the end of a long day, especially if there's a day where you're doing a lot of sitting or even a lot of heavy lifting, labor, gardening. I also like to practice this pose after being on an airplane. So you can always find a wall in your hotel room or wherever you're staying away from home and take the legs up the wall. We'll stay in this pose for a few minutes. You can stay longer in your own practice as you begin to become more comfortable with it. So stay as long as you like in this pose, but we'll come out of the pose. And to do that, we'll bend our knees slightly. And because you're just on the blanket, you can push yourself a little bit away from the wall. Make sure there's nothing behind you. And then take your strap off. Place that to the side. And then you can roll over onto your right side again. And just rest there for a minute. Before you come back up to seated. The next pose we'll practice is Shavasana. So we'll take a moment to set up our sticky mat the other direction and get ready for the pose. So you'll take your sticky mat and unroll it neatly, evenly on the floor. If you've got these nice lines on a hardwood floor, you can make sure that you're even on the floor to start. And then, again, opening the blanket lengthwise and placing the blanket covering your sticky mat. You can also use your blanket again, another blanket for the head and neck. You'll sit in the center of your sticky mat, the legs together, feet together, and then stretch the legs out. See that you're straight. And then you can lie down, placing the head and neck onto a blanket. The legs reach down, and then one more time we'll externally rotate our arms, turning the palms up, moving the shoulders away from the ears, and then relax the legs away from one another. Again, if you have your glasses on, take them off for Shavasana. And then take a moment, consciously relaxing your body. Might take a moment to settle down. You can move up the body from the feet to the shins and calves and knees, the thighs, the buttocks, the pelvis, the abdomen, the chest and shoulders, the upper arms and lower arms, the hands, all just consciously relaxing these parts of your body. The back of the neck, the throat, the jaw, the eyes are resting closed, the temples are relaxed, until finally everything, every part of the body feels relaxed. And Shavasana, again, is another pose you can practice for extended periods of time at your own home practice. So you can stay for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever time you have allowed, you can remain in Shavasana. But today, we'll carefully place our hands onto our abdomen and then bend our knees one at a time, placing the soles of the feet on the floor. Moving slowly as you come out. And then carefully roll over onto your right side, resting for a moment. And then gently pressing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Just taking a moment with the eyes closed. Again, checking back in with your physical body, noticing any changes in the physical body. And then becoming aware of your mental, emotional state. Notice any changes from the beginning of the class. And also noticing again the quality of your breath body. Notice any changes in the breath from the beginning of the class. And we'll take our hands in prayer or namaskar in front of our hearts. The palms and fingers press evenly into one another as the chest remains lifted and the shoulders back. And then bowing your heads towards your hands, acknowledging the light that exists within each one of us. Namaste. Lift your head, open your eyes, rest your hands down on your thighs. Thank you all for being here with me today. See you next time.